Thursday night podcast mock draft on conspiracy theories with like two guests who I honestly cannot wait to see what their conspiracy theories are, and two who I think are just going to be outlandishly outlandish. As our guest tonight, Jamie.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
Yeah. Jamie, who is probably in a tornado warning. Kyle, who is up in Canada. He's in Pacific time zone. And Shannon, who is in Snowmageddon right now. So thank you all for joining. G from in soon. If not, we will go without him. And when he comes in, he can jump in. The order of the rounds, 5-round draft, will be Jamie first because it is his topic. Shannon will go second because he's wonderful. Kyle will go third because he is Canadian. Sky will go fourth because this is his first time. And then he will have the first pick of the second round because it is, as we know, a conspiracy theory. So, Jesse Patterson. Welcome. Jesse is also in Snowmageddon. Go ahead.
I am a little confused. You said I'm going third because I'm Canadian. Why isn't Jamie going third? Oh, wait. He thought of the topic. Great job, Jamie. Already winning.
Jamie's decided that he's no longer Canadian. I think he did. What are you now, Jamie?
Australian. No, I'm half Australian, half Canadian.
Half Australian, half Canadian. So that's
what I identify as.
It's a common.
That is why. That is why Jamie is going where he's going.
It's pretty common, actually.
So on the conspiracy theory mock, nothing is out of bounds. If you think it's a conspiracy theory, then it's your conspiracy theory pick. Jamie, my friend, with the first pick.
All right, so my first pick. So we all heard about that Simpsons theory about the whole time travel thing and like future theory. This one's not it, right? So if you ever seen the earlier episodes, the third season, Homer meets God, and like Homer asks God, "What's the meaning of life?" Right? And God's like, "Well, I can't tell you until you die." And Homer's like, "Well, I can't wait that long." And then God replies, "Like, what? You can't wait 6 months?" Exactly 6 months later, Bart pulls that prank on Homer and shakes up that beer can really, really bad. And then Homer opens it up and explodes. Yeah, April Fool's, right?
Homer, it's May 16th.
Homer defied death. He didn't die in the explosion. He was in the hospital, right? And then all of a sudden, a vending machine falls on him, right? So I think he was supposed to die in that explosion. And what happened was when the vending machine fell on him, Homer went into a coma. And the rest of the whole 30 years later is just Homer in a coma, just coming up with these episodes in his head. Because if you think about it,
the writing gets worse. It's written by someone in a coma.
Because if you think about like the earlier episodes, they had Homer, Bart cheated on a test. What could do like an everyday thing. Marge had an affair or was about to have an affair, but then after the coma, it goes, oh well, Homer's going to space and other radical things that like would not happen in real life.
I want to go to clown college. My dream. Homer, you already lived your life dream. You went to space. Yeah, but this is a new one.
And then you can say, well, what about the advancements in technology and all the celebrity appearances? Well, when the family comes and visits, they tell Homer everything that's going on in life as they grow older the next 30 years. And the nurses can leave the TV on.
That's why they're all still the same ages.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's tracking.
Maggie's still a baby, still can't talk. Yeah.
So
when you're in a coma, like your last
that Homer is.
No, Homer's in a coma, and the last 30 years has all.
I've never seen The Simpsons. So. Homer died, and it's all Homer in a coma.
Well, he's supposed to die.
So Jamie, you're telling me that The Simpsons like all those episodes, those aren't real. That didn't actually happen. Darn.
No, it's all in Homer's head because he's in a coma. He was supposed to
I thought
die.
that show was actually real and everything actually happened.
Yeah, no, not real at all, man.
My life is shattered.
And then like him being in a coma for 30 years is God's punishment for him cheating death.
So in conspiracy theories, Michael, you will have the last pick. I'm sorry. The 101 pick in conspiracy theories from Jamie is that The Simpsons is Homer in a coma not really happening. That the cartoon that we're watching isn't really happening. It's Homer in a coma. That's the 101 pick.
Yes,
That's your
correct.
101 for conspiracy.
101.
All right.
Love it. That's a great pick.
101. Yeah. Shannon,
Well,
102.
let me start by saying two things. Great pick because conspiracy theories, whatever. Two, my issue with conspiracy theories is the word that we like, the fact that we use the word theory, because like truly it's like a hypothesis, like theory is the best idea we have about gravity, but maybe it's something else, So people are like, oh yeah, it's this fun. I have this theory. And I'm like, no, it's a hypothesis. Theory is like something that like scientifically we've shown, whatever. I'm not going to get too long on that.
The theory of the word theory.
Yeah. So this to say, my favorite one of all time is the Gary Webb. What was considered a conspiracy theory for so long. So Gary Webb was this writer in the 90s. He ended up getting blacklisted because of this. But essentially, he did this year-long investigation and found out that the CIA had ties to this Contra group in South America and were getting drugs from South America and starting the crack cocaine epidemic in California. So he writes this whole thing, and he's like, it's like called the Dark Alliance or whatever. He gets like shit canned from like different paper after different paper, and he just like is still going after this thing because he's like, this didn't come out of nowhere. These drugs just didn't appear. He's like, the CIA did this. And there's been movies about like there's that Tom Cruise movie where he's like flying drugs from South America.
Where he flies the plane? That's it? Okay.
Yes.
I've seen it. All right.
And so all this to say, he killed himself with 2 shots through the head, which is very apropos to what happened with that whistleblower with Boeing this week.
Mm-hmm. It's funny. I thought that was very aptly timed for us to do a conspiracy theory episode. I wonder.
Very much so.
Gladys, you scheduled this.
Yeah. What are you on?
This was Jamie's idea.
What are you two on? What's Canadian, Australian going on here? Yeah. So it's my favorite one because it's like I'm pretty sure it's true. I mean, it seems like it's true, and it's pretty dark. And then obviously they use this money to like do other things in South America. And then also there's like the war on drugs, which was really bad, and so on and so forth. They were just like creating this cycle of heinous atrocities that were just so bad. Gary Webb, look it up.
He shot himself with 2 shots to the head.
That way he makes sure he didn't miss.
Yeah.
Ambidextrous.
Okay. Okay,
it was ruled as suicide. His death was ruled as suicide, even though it was like
ruled as suicide.
He shot himself twice
to the head.
Yeah.
All right.
Very true.
Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Well, first off, I'd like to say hello, Michael. Welcome.
Hello. Yes, thank you.
All right. So conspiracy theory time. I'm going to go with, I guess, what I thought might be a more stock conventional one, but I'll use the, proper name. So my conspiracy theory is the Sabe, and that they actually exist. The Sabe, aka Sasquatch, which I realize makes it sound like there's someone in Saskatchewan watching something. So Rough Riders fans, I suppose, they're all kind of, or maybe more commonly known as Bigfoot. So the idea is, giant, unevolved, like giant hairy humans that roam the bush wild and free and crazy. But it seems like there have been a lot of sightings, run-ins, encounters, and the common traits are that these are actually very intelligent creatures that some speculate have telepathic powers, ability to speak into your mind. And to be fair, that's probably why they've been able to easily remain hidden from society. Although pretty sure our governments know about it, or the same people that know about what happened to Mr. Webb. But one thing that I really point to is the sacred Aboriginal teachings. Jamie, as a Canadian, knows there's lots of Aboriginal populations throughout Canada and Australia too, actually, to be fair. But they have, it seems like not just one tribe, but most tribes have some variation on the seven sacred teachings, and each representing a different aspect that we should strive for. And each aspect is represented by an animal. The beaver is wisdom. The bear is courage. Buffalo is respect. Got to respect the Bills fans. Turtle, truth. Truthfully, alliterations are awesome, so that would make sense. The wolf is humility, and the eagle is love. The seventh sacred teaching is honesty, and the very real animal that represents it is the sabe. So, like, that's really right on the nose to say, like, we're being honest here. These creatures do exist, and the reason you have to be honest with them is because they can read your thoughts, and you have to be honest with them. But more importantly, you have to be honest with yourself, because they could always be around. So, yeah, my conspiracy theory is Bigfoot, Sasquatch, or the sabe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not know that Bigfoot, that one of the traits of Bigfoot was that they were telepathic. That's awesome.
They don't want you to know.
Thanks.
That's why you never see them.
Yeah, we never see them.
You can't sneak up on them. They always know you're around.
Oh, because oh, okay, that makes sense too.
Because they can read your thoughts. You're just walking through the woods and you're like, wonder if Bigfoot's real.
The
What
G
up,
is
G?
here.
I am so I'm so sorry. The thing is,
Oh my
I live in a world where I work 60 hours a week and I don't know my days. I just work my ass off, and then on the weekend I drink my ass off to forget about the weekdays, you know?
Yeah.
So you have no ass. We got it.
What did you say?
I said you got no ass. We got it.
You're gonna go
You
last.
drink your So you're only 3 picks in, so you really
It's all
haven't
right.
missed
You're
much.
here. We're only still in the first round.
all
We're
right.
still in the
Went
first
with,
round. You're good.
The Simpsons is fake, and it's all a coma in Homer's head, or he's in a coma. Shannon went with Webb. Davis Webb? No, that's
Gary Webb.
Gary Webb, thank you. Then I went with Bigfoot. So, who's fourth?
And now it's Sky. Sky, what you got?
All right. Yeah. First, quick comment. I live in the Northwest up here. Of course, I'm not disclosing my information. I live up in the Northwest here, and I have to say, there is an enormous, legitimate population of people in the entire Northwest in general who are absolutely Bigfoot hunters. Depending on where you live in the world and in the North America in general, Bigfoot, Sasquatch, and Yeti are like the same idea, but not the same species, right? Like they're different versions of the same thing. So, I'll just leave that.
I actually
there.
just made a trade with Yeti, so yeah.
Love that.
Full
So there's a lot of
Fantasy Club recent
conversations.
episode.
Northern California, Oregon woods, up through Olympic National Forest in Northern Washington. There's a lot of that conversation and culture going on. So very real in the Northwest, at least. I'm very happy to get this falling at number 4 since it's so recent. But my conspiracy theory is a pretty easy one, and that's Taylor Swift's infiltration to the NFL this year. Now I have a number of levels on this. I'm going to keep it short. My first thing is, first of all, I'm much more concerned for my safety from Swifties than I am from conspiracy people, because conspiracy people are all crazy. I'm not worried about that. Swifties could be a problem if they turn against me. So first things first, I'm not a Taylor Swift hater, and I'm going to leave it at that. But the infiltration of what she was able to do with Travis Kelce, and I'm not saying they're not in love. I'm all about love. That's cool. But what they were able to do this year,
stuck me in here, Sky,
as a football team, what they were able to do, I see we have a Raider fan as well, so let me go off on the Chiefs just for a sec. What they were able to do this year as not the best team in the NFL, and to go as deep as they did as not the best team in the NFL, and win games they weren't supposed to win in the ways that they won them, is just not great. And if you really just take the NFL's a business. We're all trying to be fans of something that's probably rigged, but we're all fans of the NFL. The problem is the NFL's a business, and you have to have certain entities propel a business no matter what. So with her coming in, bringing in an entirely new audience that all of a sudden cares about a football team, and there's a report that Swiftie merchandise, Travis Kelce jerseys, whatever, roughly $330 million of merchandise for the Chiefs and Travis Kelce personally in like a 4-month period. Probably wouldn't have happened otherwise. Then the Chiefs go and win a Super Bowl, beat a much better team in general and a few other on the way. So not a Taylor Swift hater, but her involvement with this team and what it did for the NFL and the population and eyeballs to the NFL cannot go undisclosed. So Patrick Mahomes has got his own championships before this week or before this year, but to get back to back the way that they did it, just I'm not buying it. So
I want to
T.
believe,
Swift,
baby.
that's it.
I'm writing this down.
I
Oh,
dig
yeah.
it.
The conspiracies on her got kind of crazy. There were one saying that Kelsey was awarded Taylor Swift as a girlfriend because he was pushing the vax. And then the newest one is Kelsey and Taylor Swift are being used to push Biden. It gets,
Oh boy.
it's kind
You
of
got to
crazy
think of it this
sometimes.
way, right? And I don't want to steal
Oh,
other
man.
people's conspiracies that might come up here in the draft. So I don't want to get too far in other conspiracies, but you just have to think of the power in which Taylor Swift has as a public figure in our country is easily the most. She has the most by far of anybody right now alive, probably. So whatever she's doing has the most influence probably in our nation. And to, why not have that on your team for pushing whatever agendas you're pushing? So my conspiracy theory is that one way or another, it was a match made in heaven coming off of $1 billion tour that just happened to have right what happened the Super Bowl.
Wait, but they were the best team
Taylor
because they
Swift.
won.
Right.
Either way, Chris
Michael,
Jones
what-
got paid.
Michael, what is your conspiracy?
I found a lesser known one that's probably connected to most of the other recent conspiracy theories. We had President Reagan hired Ambassador Wanta Lee to disrupt and take down the Soviet economy. So he went to Europe. He would buy rubles at a discount. So if there's a country that has excess Soviet rubles, he would say, okay, I'm going to buy these at 20. And you'll get a currency that's stable. So like you'll get like Italian lira, US dollar, so on. And that's stable and you can trade that with other countries. And then he'd go to other countries like China that were using the Soviet currency for trade. And he'd say, okay, the Soviets will only buy this at 120. But I'll sell it to you. But I'll sell it to you for 100. So then he was undercutting the Soviets on both sides, and eventually he amassed this massive fortune. And his work actually brought down the Soviet economy, and that led to the Soviet Union's collapse.
Wait, who,
He took all of his wealth that he was making off of his Soviet ruble trade, and he was investing it in bonds and high grades and other high grade investments. And then he took those investments and leveraged those as well. So in the end, he brought back to America $27.5 trillion.
who is this?
Ambassador Lee Wanta. I think I got that right. And I
Okay.
just started going, and it goes deeper apparently. So he tried to give the money back to the treasury, and he wanted to pay off the debts and build high-speed rail. And then the money just vanished. And then he took them to court, and he brought all these documents to the court, and the court agreed in his favor. And I've been trying to search around to find those court documents, but I haven't been able to. The best I've found so far is a second lawsuit in 2007, where he has court documents that show he was supposed to receive 4.7 trillion from China, but Treasury Secretary Paulson blocked the wire transfer to his account. And then the
dollars, American dollars.
trillion with a T, yes, with a T.
Okay, that's
crazy.
a lot of money to lose.
Yeah. So if
A
it's
lot.
true, that would pretty much change the life of every American.
Exactly.
And what I was reading earlier is I still have to follow this path and see where it goes. The 27.5 trillion has been managed over time by what's his name, by the Bush family and the other people who are in charge of the New World Order, and they're using those funds to push their agenda and to kind of get the world the way they want it to be.
Man, with that much money, we could start another war.
That's
Right?
Make more money.
many conspiracy theories like rolled up.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
What?
Very impressive. Great research.
NWO for life.
Right?
Of course, Jamie's part of it. He's probably the president.
He is drinking the black blue, so
Final.
definitely from
Yes, 'cause
Canada.
I'm Canadian.
Mhm.
Ah, oui. I guess it's G.
Hold on. One second.
Right.
See you later.
Well, if he's
And
leaving,
he's
I'm
gone.
leaving too.
Is it the
Goodbye.
conspiracy theory of where Garrison is going?
I mean, but think about that though. That like that much
Maybe
money.
left
That's
too?
pretty
Uh-oh.
wild.
It's happening.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
See, here's the
Trillion.
thing.
Hi, G.
We start throwing these things around. I hear these things. I'm like, you know what? I don't not believe it. Maybe
Yes.
like I just get sucked in a little bit. I don't go.
Oh, I
too
think
far,
everything
though.
we've said tonight is true so far, right?
I know mine's true.
So
Right.
far.
What
Mine's
We use
what
the
if
word.
he's lying
We
and he
use the
doubled
word
money?
theory. We
That's
didn't use the
still
word
13 billion.
hypothesis. We've all
Yeah,
used
no,
the word theory.
exactly.
That's
This
Good.
is all established.
All right, G. Final pick, round one. Conspiracy theory. What you got?
So, I mean, you guys kind of caught me off guard because I didn't know if it was just supposed to be only sports or it could be anything.
No, it can be sports.
And that
It can be anything.
what?
Sports
So
conspiracies.
my
This will be
my
interesting.
conspiracy theory is 9/11. A lot of people believe that
Oh, damn.
it sucks
Someone was
because
going to say that.
this sucks because I watched a lot of documentary on it and I was like, man, all right, a lot of people have good points, you know. Jesse Ventura, I mean, the guy from Minnesota, you know. There's many other people, and I know this is a sensitive subject. Like let's be honest, this is a sensitive subject. But
Let's go. I want to hear it.
a lot
I'm
of
so excited.
people believed that the president of the United States knew this was happening. They knew all this was going to happen. They just
Yeah.
let it happen because they didn't want to stop it. They knew it was going to happen, and they just didn't want so they just didn't know where the attack was going to happen. And when it happened, it was too late. At that time, people on the plane were on their cell phones. At that time, they had cell phones. I mean, they weren't the greatest cell phones, but somehow rich people had cell phones that could get service. And people were getting messages, getting phone calls and stuff. And they knew it was going to happen, but they have all these theories. I've seen from, what's that called? The little eye thing? The
Illuminati.
Illuminati
all-seeing eye.
with the Pentagon on the dollar bills and
Seeing
all
eye.
that. They go as
Mhm.
far as that. They go from they knew the Pentagon was gonna get attacked before, and that's the thing, to me, if we knew we were gonna get attacked, why didn't we stop it? You know?
More money in war, baby.
Yeah, dude.
Exactly. And
Yep.
we went to war for that scene was almost 11
20 years.
years?
20.
20,
Well, yeah.
25.
Yeah.
And now we're deep into it, right? But we never really got there's so many stories out there. We never got the real story from the president. The president just said, "Oh yeah, we got attacked. We got to retaliate, whatnot." But how many movies have we seen that have gone in different direction with this? From Saddam Hussein to Osama bin Laden and it goes on. The list goes on. But if the United States knew we were going to get attacked, and we could have, I understand, and I'm not trying to be rude or disrespectful to the people that passed, died, we could have saved thousands of people's lives, but they're saying that the president knew, the office knew. All right. We have the highest military grade in probably the world. I know China's up there now, but in the world, we have one of the best military grades, and we couldn't stop what was going to happen. I have a hard time believing that the United States couldn't stop how many planes? There was 3 planes, right? 1 at the Pentagon and 2 at the
Yeah.
Twin Towers. We couldn't stop 3
1 at-
planes. So it really, that's my conspiracy theory. I know it's a very bad one, and I don't mean to touch that subject, but like shit, like come on.
I think there were 4 planes.
I believe
The one in Pittsburgh.
the 4 planes, right? I'm like, I believe there's something behind this that we haven't been told. Like there's like you know how everybody said, oh, what's that UFO stuff? I don't know, the
Roswell,
you know,
Area
and
51.
Area
Don't step on
51?
any more, guys. Be careful here.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, man, like I'm just telling you, like that kind of stuff, like I think they grabbed that and put it away. Like they don't want people knowing, but there's a lot of documentary out there that kind of makes sense. I'm like, maybe we did know we were gonna get attacked, but we chose not to.
I'm surprised actually that it fell that low. I thought it would go higher, that conspiracy.
How many rounds are we doing, by the way?
Excellent pick for the
I'll
last
get
pick.
you there.
I don't know if there's a
Um,
clear answer to
5.
that, Shannon. Oh,
So-
5.
5.
I figured it would depend on how long we talk, and
Gonna be a
Gladys would
12
decide how
show.
many rounds based on the time it takes.
Well, Sky said needs to bounce in an hour, so you guys need to like.
We'll be
Yeah.
quick.
It's okay.
I'll be
I
quick.
mean,
All right,
Round one.
It's all right.
was a
G, you have
long
2
round.
pick.
I can just blast mine
Yeah.
out too. It's no big deal.
G,
No, well, you were gonna.
pick and your first pick round.
Oh damn, was that back to back? Okay. Well, I didn't. I thought we were gonna go snake. You know, just go the other way.
That is a snake.
Oh no, linear.
Oh.
Yeah, no, we're definitely not doing that.
Oh, we definitely messed that stuff up on.
This
Sleeper, that's
isn't
for
isn't
sure.
Dynasty. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh man, I thought it was, man.
This isn't a rookie
Um,
draft. We're doing a startup.
there you go.
You could trade
okay,
your
so
Ooh.
the one thing that I hate is the NFL. People thinking that the NFL is rigged. That the NFL has a playbook. Now, here you go. Here is your conspiracy theory. Here is your for what you're gonna do for the next 900 or 600 days. Here you go. Every line. Arian Foster, you are the king of it. Telling people, oh yeah, I already knew what was gonna happen in that game. I'm gonna do that.
I fucking hate Arian Foster. Ugh.
Well, I love him for fantasy football, but like as a person, I'm like, you're a
It's the
little
first player I
psychotic,
ever
bud.
drafted in fantasy.
You know. But the fact that he said that, and then we go on, we see other athletes say, "Oh yeah, we knew this was gonna happen." I'm like, yeah. So we knew a 6th round quarterback named Tom Brady was gonna make it to the NFL, be the greatest ever, and then we have a monster like Bill Belichick that hates everything. I mean, the only thing the guy had his dog drafting for him.
That was
You know,
so awesome.
Like,
That was so awesome.
yeah, it was pretty
That was
cool.
pretty dope. Yeah, cool dog.
It was pretty
That
cool.
was pretty
But I mean, that was like the nicest thing that Bill Belichick ever done for the public. You know, anything else, every reporter
Didn't he
hates
go to the
them.
Halloween party with Randy Moss and he was rollerblading with them and stuff?
Oh
Pretty
yeah, yeah.
sick.
Well, because I mean, that is true, but that's the thing though. The public doesn't see that. The players do. You know,
We saw the video.
that's the
They don't work.
difference.
The public doesn't work for him. He doesn't work
No,
for them.
no, that's true. But apparently, he doesn't work for nobody right now. So yeah.
And he'll be just
so
fine.
that the fact that people think that NFL players are going to go out there and get hit by 200, let's say what, Myles Garrett, 260, 280 pounds solid, you know, run the 4.5, 4.6, and have a quarterback get blindside hit by him, aka Mason Rudolph, you know what you did, you know what you stand for, you know. I mean, yeah, I doubt that is part of the book that you got handed this weekend. Yeah, but I'm
the
gonna
only
get cracked in
reason-
the head by Mason Rudolph, by Myles Garrett. You know, those
The only
conspiracy theories
reason-
of people thinking all that. I'm like, I don't know about that.
The only reason I'm on your side that there isn't a script is because these guys have been hit in the head a lot, and some of them can't read.
Mike,
So that and like on the punt in the Super Bowl, how do you aim the punt to the back of the defender's foot?
Mhm.
True.
It's the
Michael,
Sasquatch that's in the stands controlling it with a telekinesis.
Obviously,
your second pick, Michael.
I'm gonna have to, I guess, go with the Kennedy assassination.
Ooh.
Good one.
Which,
So
Man, that's a
I'm
great
this
pick in the
surprised.
second round. Yeah.
yeah.
Kennedy assassination. Obviously, the Lee Harvey Oswald did not act alone, and he was actually probably just the fall guy. There's actually a great documentary called Everything is a Rich Man's Trick. It spends a good hour and a half of background before it gets to Kennedy. But then once it gets to the Kennedy part, it explains that there's 8 different teams. It explains how the video we have of Kennedy being shot was manipulated too. So essentially assassins did a really poor job, and there was one last person that was left to do the final kill shot. And it didn't come from the grassy knoll, but that's where a shooter was. The final shot actually came, there was a drainage area that they were able to access, and it came from the like below the street level, and that's why his head flips back like that.
Oh.
Like the It Clown.
So there's actually a TV show with James Franco. It's called 11/22/63. You need to watch that because he goes back in time and like tries to stop the assassination, and every time he goes back to the future, he resets every time he goes back. It's actually a pretty good show. You need to watch that.
There's an episode of Quantum Leap too where like he goes back and he changes time, and what he changes is that she was killed too, that the shot killed both, like they were more than one shot. He killed both him and her, and he saves her.
Oh no, motherfucker! Marquise Brown signed with the Chiefs.
What
No.
was that?
I'm trying to sell him in a league. That's gonna up his value for sure.
It's a
Dude, he is
script,
pissed
bro. It's
about this movie.
in the script. Like, what do you want?
This is scripted, dude.
Did everyone see on an X how everyone was
Next thing you
comparing a
know,
bunch of,
Antonio
like,
Brown is gonna be on the
superstars
Chiefs,
as good
too.
as Marquise Brown to Marquise Brown. Oh man, like MVS and Tony and Sky Moore failed. It's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure Marquise Brown has more receiving yards than all those guys combined in their
God.
careers. Okay, maybe not MVS.
Guy.
All right.
More drops.
Yeah, I'll make mine pretty quick here. Tupac.
Damn it.
Ooh.
Yeah, whether again, I think that's kind of a steal in the middle of the second round there. Whether he's dead or alive. Couple different things here.
Okay.
There's the alive side, right? Like he's in Cuba or he's under CIA witness protection for a number of reasons, or that he was killed for one or another. If he did get killed, how and who was it? Suge Knight, and then took out Biggie as well because he was concerned that those two guys were getting all of his clout. And we've seen over the last 25 years that Suge Knight is not shy about being incredibly arrogant, and that is a possibility. There's another one too that potentially you just had like street thugs, Crip gangs, stuff like that, which I think is highly unlikely at that level. Or that somebody got taken out from Biggie's camp to Tupac based on the Hit 'Em Up diss track, which is easily the hardest diss track of all time, certainly in rap music. Or if he were, taken out potentially by Diddy, which sounds funny now, but if you look back on like all this stuff, right? Like Bad Boy was coming up, Death Row was on that side. Bad Boy's more like hip hop and R&B. Death Row's gangster rap. The only threat though to Bad Boy Records and Biggie and Puffy was the gangster rap, and Tupac was the head of the snake and potentially took him out. Now fast forward 25 years, and I'm not going to get into the Puffy stuff right now, but all the stuff that Diddy's been going through in the last 6 months, it's not looking nice that 25 years ago this wasn't possible, that he took him out because everybody else in Diddy's gang is disappeared over the last 25 years, and Tupac was just the fall guy for that, and then it ended up being Biggie. So whether Tupac's alive or not, what happened to him? So in general, the Tupac conspiracy theory, whether he's dead or alive, and if he's gone, why he's gone.
Yeah, I love that theory. He got shot on my birthday in 1996.
Way to celebrate your birthday there, bud.
7 days later, he died, right?
September 7th. Yep.
Yes.
Dude, great connection
7 days
there,
later, he
Jamie. I
died.
love
And then he said in one of his songs, he even alluded to like 7 years later, he's going to return. So I remember sitting there on September 13th in like 2003, I think it was. I'm like checking my phone, like waiting for Tupac's return story to come out, but no, it never happened.
Yet.
Made the hologram.
Maybe he said
at
70 years.
Yeah, made the hologram at
How is he
Coachella.
photographed with like all these newer rappers? How like he was photographed with 50 Cent.
Yeah.
Like his-
Well, there's other.
Wasn't there a
Just-
picture
is it
that
like
looked like
Biggie
him from
Smalls?
Puerto Rico or something?
Yeah.
It was him. Like
Cuba.
Tupac's son even said and came out and said he's still alive somewhere.
I mean, is it like
Whether he's alive or
part
dead,
episode
his
where he-
legacy will live on forever. Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. I mean, if the guy's still alive, there's no way he has that money to live for 30 years. We live in. I mean, even if he went and hid in Puerto Rico, like they think he said,
he had, like,
Puerto
7
Rico is still part of the
platinum
United States,
albums
right?
After he died.
Yeah, I mean, that guy. There's no way he can make that much. I mean, I mean, I know I'm getting off subject here, but I do believe Sid Nice killed him. That's for sure. That guy
That
is a
doesn't seem off
freaking
topic. It seems like it's part of the conspiracy theory.
yeah. And then P Diddy's going the other way. I don't know what he's
Yeah,
doing.
it is. It's ridiculous. Kyle,
All right.
your second pick.
So, all right, my second pick will be the mud flood theory. I don't know if anyone's
what?
heard of
I'm
the
sorry.
mud floods before. Mud floods.
Oh yes.
So, the theory goes that in the early 1800s, and just a little bit of research I had done, I'd say probably early 1830s, there was a global catastrophe, an event that literally mud covered the entire planet in a flood-like state, annihilated a ton of people, and essentially reset civilization. And all it took was one generation to basically forget of what happened and what was before. And, you know, for basically everything that we've learned about history from before 1831 is all made up. And like from that point, everything is like what's happened since then is, you know, there's, you know, newspapers, like current events, we can kind of piece together things, but everything in like early 1800s before could all be a lie. We might not know anything. If you see any cities that are older than like 1840, how so many of the buildings look like they have these giant basements, and you know the common thing is door. You know, the top of doors, you see the little circular windows, like little triangles, kind of making like almost like an orange slice. How many like old cities do you see that you have those kind of windows, which looks like it should be at the top of the door, like right at the bottom and kind of the top of the basement floor? Almost. Modern day basements, the roofs aren't as tall as main floors, but these older cities, their basements look like they are regular floors, and how much looks like stuff could have been excavated. And if you see a lot of like mid 1800s photos, it seems like there's just mud and dirt everywhere, and everyone's always got a shovel. And yeah, so part of it is the forces that be, the you know, the New World Order, or I guess at that point it would have been the Old World Order. That's old enough. But wanted to take out a specific civilization empire, the Tartarian Empire. It was a civilization that existed, and if you look at like pre-20th century maps, there's lots of parts of Asia that carry the name Tartar or Tartary. Modern day Mongolia, Siberia, other parts of Central Asia. And it said that the Tartarian Empire was at the time the most advanced civilization we've had. They had free wireless energy. But it was populated by giants. And part of my little add-in to the theory is, what if that's the Sabe? And now we can connect another conspiracy theory and show that the webs really are all together. Blow Shannon's mind there.
I got you, bro. I'm on that too.
So, you know, there's old structures in parts of Siberian Russia where like, you know, 12, 15-foot doors and just like giant buildings and rooms. It's like, what could have lived here? Well, these other creatures, and again, maybe it's the Sabe, maybe it's the Sasquatch, and the mud floods happen as a way to try and stop their dominance, and that's why they're in hiding now, because they're afraid if they all gather together, the governments and the New World Order will try and just eradicate them again, so they stay hidden and they stay kind of separated, so we can't pinpoint where they are, and I don't think they want to reset anything just yet. Maybe we'll find out, or we won't. But yeah, mud floods, my theory.
Okay. I've never,
Like
Never heard that one.
and I do like it. Never heard that one. Like it. Keenan Allen just went to the Bears. Marquise Brown just went to the Chiefs.
I don't know why
Okay,
more.
from Bob
Keenan Allen could get
Keenan
this
Allen
higher.
to the Bears?
He got traded.
Yeah, you
was
missed
gonna say,
What
that.
I just heard. Yep. Keenan Allen to the Bears.
What,
Marquise
the
Brown to
101, so that the Chargers can draft Caleb Williams, then he and Herbert can fight it out, and they really build their
Bro.
own fields? Is that what?
Caleb's trash. Please don't get me started on this.
Is that the conspiracy theory that we're supposed to believe Caleb's good and that Justin
Bro.
Fields isn't good?
Yes,
Is the
exactly.
conspiracy that we've been lied to?
False. Fake news.
Wait,
It's a script.
you don't
It's a
think
script.
Caleb Williams good?
No.
It's
We'll talk about it another time. We don't have time for that.
Shannon,
No, I don't.
your conspiracy theory.
So I've never really been into conspiracy theories at all, but I listened to this podcast. It was one of my favorite podcasts of all time. It's now no longer, it's changed to something else. It's called Reply All. And in like one of their early seasons, they talk about Pizzagate. And this is like before QAnon really started. This is like on the front end of all that. And Pizzagate, like during the episode, like I'm listening to this and it's all sounding pretty wild. And they're laughing about it because they're like, oh my gosh, this is unreal, you know? Because like at the time it was really just like on like 4chan, 8chan, and like Reddit, like where this kind of stuff is coming up. And so they're laughing about it because it's so early into like all of this kind of thing. And they're like, it's so ridiculous. Like these people are like deep diving into the menus of this pizza place, thinking that it's like this child sex ring and like there's like babies being murdered and all these things or whatever. Well, that's to say, fast forward a little while after that guy holds the whole restaurant hostage, and they do another episode and they're like, we just want to apologize a little bit because we were making fun of all this. We didn't think it was that serious because the whole show was just covered the internet. Like they just talk about internet stories, and this was an internet story. And they're like, we were laughing in that episode, and now this has turned into something a little bit more serious. So it was kind of like the tip of the iceberg with the beginning of the QAnon stuff. Pizzagate was, and the show was called Reply All, and it's episode 83. If anyone wants to listen to it,
That's a great podcast.
mm-hmm.
Pizzagate's an interesting one. I feel like they used Pizzagate to kind of discredit the idea that they're child sex rings, but there's actually a long history of it. There was before Epstein, there was
the Catholic Church. Yeah.
Of course that. The Dutroux affair, I think, was it Belgium? Somewhere in Europe, there's the Dutroux affair, where a bunch of politicians, police, etc., got caught with managing a sex trafficking ring. Before that, there was the Franklin scandal in the U.S. that got tied to the White House in the 80s, and you can find an old Washington Examiner headline about it as well. So it's like there's this long history and they're trying to cover it up and pretend that it didn't happen. I think
last year there was like 1,800 cases that were reported of cops alone that were like sexually assaulting teenage girls and boys. Like it was like,
yeah.
I mean, it's true. It's like it just happens with cops and Catholics. So like, that's why I don't go to Boston. You know, a lot of Irish cops.
Fair. It's a lot in Hollywood too. There's, you know, a lot of like, now it's coming out because everybody feels more comfortable to talk these days. And even if it costs them something, like they're more willing to talk about stuff. Like there's a lot more conversation about pizza parties. And then you have other child celebrities that are now adults and are willing to talk at this point, 25, 30 years later, coming out, just being like, this is what happened. You can believe me or not, but this is what happened.
Yeah.
And then you get more and more and more and more kind of, you know,
I mean, Corey Feldman didn't get this cool from not having trauma.
Right. There's a lot of like, you know, Biebs is one of them. And there's a lot of them that talk, unfortunately, but yeah, pretty rough.
Jamie.
Oh, my turn. Sorry.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's go with this one.
God damn it, I'm canceled.
Human evolution. So I hear we were evolved from apes, right? So why are there still apes running around this world? And why aren't they evolving into more humans? So here's a theory. A long, long time ago, alien beings came down from the Earth from a far, far away galaxy. They mixed their DNA with the apes to create a breed of themselves to rule planet Earth. And out came the Neanderthal, who over time kept evolving into what we are, humans today. So we are the aliens on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
I'm down for that.
Courtney being a good co-host of the 2-point conversion with Gladys and breaking all this news with Alan to the
I mean, technically in America, I'm considered an alien because I'm a beaner. So, you know, I'm just saying.
That's a different conversation. That's cool.
I think it was either Neil Armstrong or Buzz Aldrin said, "We are the aliens."
Good segue, though.
Yep.
So is aliens a conspiracy theory or just specifically?
No,
we
it's
are
the-
the aliens.
It's the
Yeah.
transition.
We are
They
the aliens.
spliced
This
their
conspiracy
DNA.
theory.
With
Well, I guess we're ruling the planet and destroying it. So good job. It worked.
But we're using
What's your
I think
What's your third pick, Jamie?
yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with house
What?
cats.
No, go ahead.
Yeah.
I'll talk about that later.
Okay, so the house cats that we have today are a breed of jungle cats mixed with reptile blood of the lizard people.
I like this one. I like
Me
this
too.
one.
So
Huh.
all other felines, like their pupils, like the cats have slits in their eyes, right? Just like the reptiles. But if you
Right.
look in the jungle, all the cats have round eyes. So what if way back in the day, the lizard people came and spliced their DNA with the jungle cats?
I don't like that as
Placing
much.
both
This is
he's
probably
splicing
during,
both
like-
theories together here.
So this was probably during like the Egyptian time. They tried to
Okay.
splice their DNA with different types of wild cats,
Mhm.
kind of like the alien people did with the apes. But these lizard people failed, and instead
I
of
learned
a
it from
breed
you,
of
Dad.
large lizard cat people,
Mhm.
they came out to be small, cute, cuddly, furry animals that humans used to worship, and now we have in our houses every day.
Mm.
Like what? Like
Yeah.
snakes eat mice, right? Cats eat
Mhm.
mice. Similarity there. What do you guys think?
Well, I think you made a mistake when you said spliced and not fucked.
Mm.
Oh, well, that's even better. I mean,
Please,
well, isn't it interracial? Yeah, no, I don't think.
Oh,
don't think
Jamie.
human
I mean, if they're
lizards-
lizard
Oh,
people, would
Jamie.
that be considered bestiality, or is
You
it?
Yeah,
never-
bestiality.
Yeah.
Like lizard
the point.
people wouldn't.
Asking the
Hey,
tough questions.
listen. I've never been to Pennsylvania, but we are animals. We're all animals. And I know some people get after some sheep. And I know there's no consent there, but we're both animals.
Wow. I'm almost
I'm not
ready.
making excuses for them. I'm just saying.
So Shannon's third pick. Shannon,
Oh, this.
thank you for that. Your
um,
third pick.
I do. I'm gonna go with. I'm just gonna go with that. We're living in a simulation. The
Obviously.
algorithm is working. You know, we're just in a simulation. Like
Are you talking about the Matrix?
basically, yeah. I mean, we're in it.
Are you the one?
No. Oh God, no. If I was, dear Jesus, that would be horrible.
Or dear you?
Yeah, dear me.
It definitely ain't me though.
Yeah, you're wearing number
yeah.
4, not number 1.
Oh yeah, you got the end number 4.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that like we're all living in a simulation,
I got
and that this is just a program that's running, and you know, I don't know anything outside of it of like how that's going on, but the math isn't against it.
I like
Yeah,
it.
That's it.
And it's
I'm
devolving
okay with
quickly.
it.
It's malfunctioning.
And there's
Very
been a lot of
quickly.
glitches lately.
Kyle,
Yeah.
a lot of glitches.
Program's not doing what
A
they're
lot.
supposed to be doing. Well, I'm gonna go with Paul is dead. And I mean, of course,
Wait, repeat that.
Paul,
Paul
the
Paul
Beatles?
is dead.
Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
yeah,
Gladys,
I like
Gladys
that.
will love this one.
1966. Right?
Exactly, yes. November 1966, to be precise, is when everything was expected to have happened. So the story goes that Paul McCartney, just before they started recording Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, officially that album they started recording in December of 66. So I guess November 66, they're probably rehearsing, maybe starting to write some songs, talk about the creative idea on the album, the concept. And I guess maybe Paul didn't agree or supposedly got into a really heated argument and stormed off and driving incredibly fast, was distracted by a meter maid, didn't notice the light changed, crashed, and was decapitated. And Paul McCartney died. And the Beatles, along with MI5, basically the British version of the CIA, thought that if people knew this happened, the overwhelming grief that would strike England in 1966 would be so much, it'd be chaos, there'd be riots, they have no idea what to do. So instead, they got a lookalike Paul McCartney to basically just join the band the rest of the way. At this point, they had decided to really stop touring and stop playing live shows altogether. So it was a lot easier to fake his appearance in photo shoots for albums and whatnot. And there's been apparently hints that the band left all throughout their catalog since then, including some of the songs on Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. In the song Lovely Rita, they talk about being distracted by a meter maid, and then A Day in the Life. There's a lyric, didn't notice the traffic light changed. On the cover, the back cover, 3 of the band members are facing forward except Paul, who's facing backwards. So maybe they didn't have the lookalike in place yet when they took that picture either, and hide his appearance. The next album, Magical Mystical Tour, recorded from April to November of '67, so the next year. They're all in different animal suits, but 3 of them are, it's like a white suit with the black accents on the face and the belly. One suit is the opposite, and that's theorized that's Paul, and that's representing that he's dead. The song Blue Jay Way is essentially George's eulogy to Paul. And then in Strawberry Fields Forever, you can hear John Lennon say, "I buried Paul." Now I think he said, I said Canterbury sauce or something like it, but it sounds like "I buried Paul." On the White Album, the album actually titled just The Beatles, recorded May to October of '68. In Glass Onion, you can hear Paul was the walrus, not was, implying that he's dead. The song Don't Pass Me By, they talk about character in the song who crashed and was decapitated. And in Revolution Number 9, the number 9 backwards sounds like Turn Me On, Dead Man. And finally, the Abbey Road cover, which I think is the one everyone uses as the example. So it essentially represents the funeral march. John Lennon dressed in white is the God or the Holy Spirit. Ringo's dressed in black. He's the Undertaker. Paul isn't wearing shoes, and he's out of step with everyone else. Everyone's leading with the right foot. He's leading with the left or whatever it is. He represents the corpse because he's dead. And then George Harrison's dressed kind of like in a denim jacket, pants. He's the gravedigger. And also, I think one of the license plate in the car says IF28. If Paul was still alive, he'd be 28 at that point when they took that photo, which was, I think, in '69. So, and then after that, he left the Beatles and had his own solo album. So good job for the lookalike. He did quite well for just a lookalike.
Yeah, Wings crushed it. So well done. Yeah,
I always love bass players. So, right. Yeah, he's just great.
Yeah, that one's pretty heavy. I'm gonna make this one, and then I'll go back around, and I'll have to dip out on my 5th pick. I'm gonna audible here on the spot since we're talking about body doubles and have a little more fun with that. Celebrity body doubles. So like whether it's just somebody in 2 places at the same time, or somebody's sick, the Jamie Foxx thing that happened recently where he may or may not have had a stroke and didn't want to take him out of circulation. So they just recreated Jamie Foxx basically to put him back in it. Kanye's had a conversation, Justin Bieber, there's all sorts of stuff. I'm not going to run a bunch of names, but the idea that celebrities either pass away for natural causes and they continue them on, because like the Beatles, imagine some of the celebrities nowadays, if they were just to actually disappear like overnight and whatever reason, what that would cause. It would be pretty traumatic for
many people. So is Taylor Swift not real?
Hey man, I already talked about her. I'm not gonna bring it up twice. I told you. I'm Team Swifty. So let's.
Well, we are going for 2 here, right? So.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough.
Oh, Kate Middleton's the next one, right?
I mean, there's many of them. So the general idea, conspiracy theory of body doubles, and I think the reptilian thing is maybe a different level of that, but just body doubles or replacement theory of celebrities specifically in one way or another. And there's a lot of examples you can find in video specifically. Obviously, a lot of stuff on the internet can be doctored clearly, but just different body type, whatever, maybe the president, but I'll leave it at that.
The band Exterio, they had a triple album, L'Album Mons, the Monster album. And the first album was all about conspiracy theories, and the song is called Square Victoria. And essentially it's that zombies have replaced a huge portion of the population. Your neighbors could be zombies, and most of us could be zombies. Yeah.
Well, now you have kind of the robotic replacement thing, so yeah, body double.
Thank you, Sky. And with that, Sky has to leave because he has a life. beyond us.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll get out. I'll message another one to Gladys. She can share it with you if you want. But thank you for the opportunity, and
Well,
stay
thank you
safe,
for coming
everybody.
on.
Stay safe. Have fun.
Bye.
All right, it was nice seeing you.
Well,
Just throwing up Illuminati signs.
What? All right, Michael.
all right. Well, I guess I might as well come full circle with this, and I might as well choose shadow government for the next one.
Why not? Why not?
Right.
Yeah.
So here it is. Okay. I'm going to go back to the origins. Edward Mandell House, otherwise known as Colonel House. He's the guy who helped broker the deal to end World War One. But he was working as an agent for like essentially the international banks. He wrote a book later in his life explaining the scheme. He essentially had to convince Woodrow Wilson to enact the Federal Reserve Act, the monster from Jekyll Island. This is a paragraph from his book explaining his book is fiction, but it's essentially nonfiction. It's his life. His paragraph is: very soon, every American will be required to register their biological property in a nationalist system designed to keep track of the people, and that will operate under the ancient system of pledging. So birth certificate, social security number. By such methodology, we can compel people to submit to our agenda, which will affect our security as a chargeback for our fiat paper currency. Every American will be forced to register or suffer not being able to work and earn a living. They will be our chattel, and we will hold the sorry, my eyes are going. We will hold the interest over them forever by operation of law merchant under the scheme of secured transactions. Americans, by unknowingly or unwittingly delivering their bills of lading to us, will be rendered bankrupt and insolvent, forever to remain economic slaves through taxation secured by their pledges. They will be stripped of their rights and given a commercial value designed to make us a profit, and they will be none the wiser, for not one man in a million could ever figure out our plans, and if by accident one or two would figure it out, we have in our arsenal plausible deniability. After all, this is the only logical way to fund our government, by floating lends and debt to registrants in the form of benefits and privileges. This will inevitably reap to us huge profits beyond our wildest expectations and leave every American a contributor to our fraud, which we will call social insurance. Without realizing it, every American will insure us for any loss we may incur, and in this manner, every American will unknowingly be our servant forever, begrudgingly.
When was this written?
The people will become like 1920s.
Okay. I'm sorry, go ahead.
The people will become helpless and without any hope for their redemption, and we will employ the high office of the president of our dummy corporation to ferment this plot against America.
Yay, sounds fun.
Damn.
Well, I covered Kennedy and I covered finance, so I figured I might as well just go full circle.
And full circle you did. And
There's a lot of
I like-
presidential conspiracy theories.
yeah, man.
There's
Damn.
what?
Damn. Gee. You're
They
Um,
got us.
I think okay, so I just want to double check here. Did anybody cover COVID-19?
no.
It's
It's all
man.
you, baby. It's all you.
Aaron Rodgers?
I don't know about you
You and
guys.
Aaron
I found out about COVID-19 when a coworker came up to me, like, I do construction, so we're blue collar. I deal with all sorts of race. I deal with all sorts of different people. And I had a little short Mexican guy walk up to me and be like, "Hey, did you hear? And we're all gonna get infected." And I'm like, "The hell are you talking about? Oh, you haven't heard about the vaccine? The virus?" I'm like, "Bro, get to the point. You got to go to work. Stop talking to me." And I'm like, you know, and then all of a sudden I hear about COVID-19, but apparently people think that COVID-19 is fake. It is. I feel like there's been from the point where everybody says every presidential election, there always comes a new infection, from Ebola to the bird flu to COVID-19. There's new things every single time a president gets nominated. They go through the election, right? And then they do the. It came from a bat. A bat was the one that created in China a bat got infected by bacteria, and that's the way COVID-19 was created. And then people said it was created as a biological weapon. I'm like, I don't know. And then they said that the U.S. military, they imported it from China. I mean, there's so many conspiracy theories, but like the way I put it, the funniest one is that COVID-19 doesn't exist. I don't know about you guys, but I lost 3 family members from COVID-19. And it could be, and I always think about it, I'm like, damn, is it fake? Could it be real? I mean, are we this desperate for America to create a new like way of like making money? Like, you know, like, is it a big pharmaceutical fake, you know, way to make money? You know, but apparently the whole world deals with it, so it's not just America, you know. And I was like, well, shit, this sucks. You know, I lost my cousin, I lost a couple friends. You know, it sucks. I mean, it's not something to joke around about, but there's a bunch of theories out there, and I don't believe COVID is fake, but I would definitely love to find out how it was actually created or it came about. I mean, there's a lot of different conspiracy theories out there, but
was it an accident or was this done on purpose? Right?
Yeah, you know, like I'm just curious, but like that COVID-19 is definitely probably to me, the latest biggest one, you know.
Have y'all ever seen a baby pigeon?
Yes.
I don't know if Josh has an
Baby pigeon.
But birds aren't real.
They'll poop on you.
Yeah, that's true.
G, you have 2 in a row. You're on the snake draft, babe.
Oh, with 4 rounds?
Yeah,
Doing
every
4.
round the snake draft. We're in round 4, baby.
Okay, so I didn't come prepared. I thought it was only like 3 rounds. I didn't know.
Hey, we've all been there, man.
5 rounds?
We've all been there, man.
If you need a minute, I hear my kids calling. I only have like 2 minutes
go ahead.
left. I can
Michael?
cut if you want me to.
Michael's
Okay.
going to cut in front of you.
So I'm going to go with predictive programming. So it's the idea that they start to throw these ideas and of future events in current like popular media. That's them screaming. So really quickly, 2 examples. The first one is for September 11th. There's like the Super Mario movie, the Spider-Man movie that was about to come out. There were videos in popular culture of the Twin Towers being destroyed. Second quick example, more recently, because it's side of COVID-19, apparently Grimes released an album cover with like a rock that was encoded, and it had like three syringes on it for like flu shot, and there's a bunch of other things on there and aliens, and people are saying that's kind of like a predictive programming for the future as well. I know that one's a little bit stranger, but essentially predictive programming is a way for those controlling events to gain consent from us subconsciously to allow it to happen.
We believe it.
Yikes.
It's believable. Like, we've seen this, like,
Nice.
not in real life.
Terrible.
That's a great one to go out on.
Yeah, it is a
Okay,
great
so, all
one.
right, thank you.
Well,
I'll see you guys.
Yeah,
I'll-
Michael.
I'll-
Thank you for joining
Bye,
us.
Michael. Thank you.
Take care, Mike.
Illuminati.
Appreciate it, man.
Are you trying to have it like the symbols pop up on the screen, like with the heart or the thumbs up?
What if it did? What if the Illuminati symbol just popped up?
Try the heart.
I mean,
That would be
I'm
awesome.
doing it, and nothing's happening.
Jeff's gonna get canceled.
All right.
after this episode.
There,
He's got
hey!
hearts. There we go. Yay!
It's Shannon's magical powers. That's the conspiracy. I guess you're next, G.
Yeah, those hearts are in the room with me, guys. You think they're just popping up on the screen.
Oh, that must be so much
All right.
love in your house.
G.
That's great.
You're up.
All right, so I'm pretty sure you probably heard this joke a million times, Alan. But it's conspiracy theory. How did we get Lionel Richie on the fucking podcast? That's my question. You know, because you look like Lionel Richie, dude. I was like, who the fuck is that Lionel Richie? How did we get that fuck? He's a wait, and I had to double check. I'm like, nope. I even went to look at that at Americana. I'm like, all right, he's on IG. Oh no, that's definitely not him.
Hello.
No.
Is it me you're looking for?
There you go, brother.
I'm convinced.
There you go. I was like, wait a minute. I've only had like. So I've been drinking these. I'm trying to step away from beer. So I've been drinking these Cayman Jacks, and I was like, how many? These are fucking strong, or am I tripping? So my final conspiracy theory, and this just comes from the top of my head since I was a little kid. Did we really land on the moon? Like, is it real? I mean,
Did we?
why the fuck do we have? I mean, sorry, Jeff, put $5 in the coin jar.
We're an hour in.
Why the heck do we have Elon Musk or all these billionaire people trying to take us to the moon? You know, I mean, these guys are trying so dang hard, but yet we haven't sent someone to the moon in how long? Like
since the 60s.
When was the last time? When did that happen? 1994,
1960.
A heck of a long time. You're telling me we can create, and I know we can create flying cars. They just won't allow it because we have too many freaking drunken idiots, you know. But we can't create a rocket to take people up to the moon, you know. Like, I mean, I know Elon Musk is a weirdo, but this guy has a good point. I believe there's gonna be a civilization up there, and that's why I'm gonna get all the rich people to do it. And that's smart. I mean, it's a good way to make money. The moon was in Arizona. We were just lying to everybody. It was in Nevada, you know.
Why is the flag
they
waving?
made
There
something
shouldn't be
up and
atmosphere on the
everything.
moon.
And I'm like, yeah. I mean, I don't know, but back then I don't believe editing like videos and stuff existed as good as it does now. But I mean, it does make sense when they had that video and everything in that one small step for man, one job, you know, and all that. I'm like, well, yeah, you got to make it look realistic, you know, like we live in a time where it doesn't exist. But nowadays, that stuff would be like 4K. You could have it with goggles and stuff. You'd be like, oh my gosh, there it is. Someone took a shit on the moon, you know, something like that. You know, it'd be like that.
Yeah, Steven Spielberg filmed it. That's how he got the contract to do Jaws.
But like, who was filming the moon landing? Who was out there actually filming it? If Armstrong.
It was
or
Stanley.
whoever.
It was Stanley.
Exactly, dude. That's what I was like. I'm like, they didn't have a fucking GoPro, you know, on the helmet.
Robot,
Like,
you would have to
come
go
on, dude.
the moon as the first step to like get that thing out there to start filming.
Shit, dude. I don't know, man. I'm over here wondering if I can like step off a ladder and go over here climbing moons, you know?
Climbing moon.
Sorry, guys. That's the way I'm gonna go out.
Album name.
That's all right, G. Thank you for joining.
Yeah. Cheers.
Love your
Always.
face. Love your face.
I miss all you guys, man. I miss all you guys. Lionel Richie, good seeing you, man. Much love. I'm kidding. I've seen you on other podcasts, and you're hella cool, dude. I love it, man.
Not even a little
Shannon's
bit.
awesome.
Oh, you are awesome. You know you are.
Even though he might be an Illuminati member, we're not sure. He
I
is an
do live near the
American.
Denver airport.
Denver Airport.
I can get to the Denver airport quick.
I guess is that going to be coming up as next one? So did Sky send his last at all?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he said his last one.
Yeah,
Okay.
Sky had to bounce. He had to drop a record or something. Sky's
Didn't he say he was going to message you his last one?
he's messaging about the trade, the Bears right now. So
Maybe. Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, he's messaging about Chicago. Kyle, it's your turn.
Yeah. I'm torn. I've got a few left available that I'd like to go
You have
through.
two more choices. You have this one and another one.
Oh, we are going to do
It's
5
only
rounds?
fourth round.
Okay. Fair enough.
Unless Shannon
Well,
goes to sleep on us. Are we
In
going
honor
to
of Shannon
trying
introducing
to
me
not.
to a certain band on one of the previous episodes, I gotta say, the lamb symbol in both Yellow Card's music videos and Brand New's videos. So in Ocean Avenue, everyone's after this suitcase with this freaking lamb on it, right? Like, what could be so important in this freaking suitcase that you're like running people over, and you got a violinist and a drummer trying to chase you down? Like, what is all that? And they kind of show it later in a different video, but in Brand New, the song "Sic Transit Gloria, Glory Fades." He enters a bar. It has the lamb symbol on the door, and so the lamb seems to grant powers of some sort. Is the lamb, Lamb of God? Why do Catholics always say it? Is there meaning behind lambs? I mean, they're not quite goats, but we talk about goats being the greatest of all time. Do lambs have magical powers? So I guess in Sic Transit Gloria, he's able to control other people while he's in the lamb bar. There's even a woman with a lamb shirt, and he's able to control her movements until he becomes the lamb, and suddenly he's being controlled by someone else because he's in the lamb bar. In Rough Landing Holly, another Yellow Card song. And all these music videos are directed by Mark Webb. We expose the Webbs. I wonder if he's related to the Webb that Guy mentioned. But in Rough Landing Holly, Ryan Key uses the suitcase to teleport. So it seems like the lamb can sort of provide different powers. It's almost like a Sasquatch, because they've actually been rumored to have teleportation as well as the telepathy. So maybe that's what Bigfoot looks like, is actually a lamb. Who knows? But I'm going with lambs have superpowers conspiracy. Thank you, Yellow Card and Brand New, for not just making good music, but also informing us with these music videos.
Hilarious.
Okay.
And also thank you, Shannon, for introducing me to Brand New.
Shannon?
Okay. So I might be stepping in it. The Jews were never in Egypt. They were never kept as slaves in Egypt.
Wow.
Wait, what? What did you say?
The Jews were never kept in Egypt as slaves. They were never recorded as being in Egypt. Like, the Egyptians never had a record of any Jewish people being there. Also, as the Bible would put it, the way that they left Egypt, where they were going, was actually still part of the Egyptian kingdom. So they would have just been escaping to a different part of Egypt. And if they were walking, and they were walking for 40 years, the line of people would have stretched, and they would have just been in Egypt. Like, by the time the first people left, the last people would still be in Egypt, and they didn't all leave at one time. And the Egyptians have no record of the Jews ever being in there.
Maybe the mud floods took out all the records.
Maybe the mud floods took out all the records.
Okay,
My iPad's at 10%. We gotta be quick.
Yeah. Jamie?
Oh, all right. So, how many picks do I got left? 2?
You have 2. Last 2, baby.
I'm gonna go with this one. All right, y'all seen the movie Ghostbusters, right?
Yep.
All right. Yeah. So here's the theory. Bill Murray's character, Dr. Peter Venkman, he's a sexual predator.
Oh, fuck.
It starts off with.
Can you not ruin something for me, please?
Really ruined it. So it starts off with creepy behavior in the beginning of the movie. When he's in his classroom with a male and a female student, he intentionally told the male student to leave so he could be alone with the female, right?
Yeah.
Then Egon interrupts him and says, "Hey, we have to go." Then Bill Murray slaps him in the back of the head, saying, "I was in the middle of something." So let's fast forward to the part where he went on that date with that woman that got possessed, right? She's smart. She's a classy woman, not the type of woman that he usually preys on, right? Like that dumb blonde type. So,
easy.
He finally convinced her to meet up. He knows this woman can't easily be manipulated, so he has a backup plan just in case things don't go his way. So he has this syringe full of what was it called? Thorazine, which is called the date rape drug.
Oh my God.
He was going to give her a date rape drug so he could take advantage of her without her remembering. So when he walks in and finds her possessed, he says, I just whacked her up with 300 cc's of Thorazine. She's going to take a little nap. what do you think he's doing? Why she's taking a nap?
Oh my God.
My question is, why did he have this drug in his pocket on a first date with a girl? Unless he was going to do some kind of a
Because if you're hunting ghosts, it's not like that would work on the ghost. So
Like,
it's
yeah,
not like
like,
a ghost
who
hunting
carries-
tool. Yeah.
Oh my
who
God.
carries around a
Sorry,
dose of-
Shannon.
like who literally carries a dose of date rape drug unless you're intentionally going to use it? Like, he's definitely a sexual predator. And knowing this now, I can't watch the Ghostbusters with the same respect I did when I was a kid.
Neither can I. Thanks,
That dude
thanks,
is a
Jamie.
creep.
He just busted the movie for all of us.
Thanks,
Real quick, I'm gonna throw in here that maybe it was for him because sometimes people take drugs out with them and they don't share them with anybody else.
Not
But a
anyone's
date
as greedy
rape
as
drug?
I am, though,
You
Shannon.
inject yourself with a date rape drug to knock
I mean-
you out? I don't remember.
The chick from Dexter did it. She's also a psychopath. So
Jamie, your last pick for the conspiracy round theory.
I mean, Bill Cosby.
yeah,
Oh my God.
isn't that far from Bill Murray? They're almost the same person.
Jamie, your last pick for the conspiracy.
I'm just saying, Bill
Apparently he's part of
Cosby.
the Epstein group. Oh wow, where there's a will, there's
I
a way.
mean, yeah,
Where there's
Bill
a bill, there's a
Clinton.
way.
These bills, I mean,
It's all about
Jamie?
the dollar bills.
Jamie,
Maybe we
Okay,
should cover
so-
another conspiracy. here
Jamie,
next
your
year.
last
Let me go
pick.
get my red thread.
My last pick. Elon Musk is a robot from the future sent back in time to build the time machine. And then once he actually built the time machine, this was during the Donald Trump presidency. Donald Trump found out that he had a working time machine, went in with an army, stole the time machine from Elon Musk. And Donald Trump now possesses a time machine, which is why him and his family are so rich, because he went back in time
But
or
they're
sent
not
someone back in time to like give them all the information. And
They're not
These are the
rich, though.
companies to invest in. These are the sports games to bet on.
But they're
exactly,
not
so
rich.
that's why they're so rich now, and he has all that power. And
And he
Speaking of
has
which-
no power.
Join Underdog Fantasy today. Use the promo code GF2 or scan the QR code. Best ball drafting is great. You can do best ball drafts with
Oh my
Dan
God.
the B League says he does often on the Going for Two Live network. So
Going
use the
for
promo code
two.
GF2 today and join Underdog Fantasy. Go ahead, Jamie.
yeah, no, that's pretty much it.
That's it. All right,
Um,
Shannon.
If I'm going to poke holes in that, Elon has never invented anything. He's not actually that smart. He's just got a lot of money. He just bought
he's a
companies.
fucking weirdo. That's what he is.
Did you ever hear him
He
talk?
came,
Like,
he,
the dude's a
he
robot.
came from money. He came from money. He bought companies. He's not smart.
Like, he said himself,
Um,
he was so bored that he actually went and invented a time machine because he was bored.
You would
said a
be
lot of
smart to
things.
do that, though.
It'd be a good way to get the time back, to be honest.
I'll be honest
so I
with
was
you.
thinking it,
I didn't even know who Elon Musk was until I saw that meme of him smoking weed. Like, that's the first time I ever figured out who he was.
Conspiracy theory, Joe Rogan himself. It's been an hour 17. We haven't mentioned Joe Rogan until right now.
Yeah.
Got a great transcript
Shannon.
for me.
I was thinking about
Shannon.
going with the Home Alone theory, the dads of the mafia. I thought about going with like the paperclip, like Project Paperclip, where the Nazis, we like had a bunch of Nazis come over after World War II and whatever. Disney was like best friends with one of them. But I'm gonna go with one of my favorites that I've loved forever, Roanoke, where there was a civil or like a settlement in America. It was like an early settlement, and then overnight,
Yep.
the whole thing, everybody just
Disappeared.
disappeared, and then all was like left was like a carving in a tree. Like somebody came over from a village over, and like everybody was just gone, and there was no trace of anybody and no trace of like struggle or anything. It was just like everybody just disappeared. I've loved that one my entire life. So it's Roanoke. That's my last pick.
So where is it?
Yeah, but what's
like,
the
where was
conspiracy
it?
in Roanoke? I thought that they went with the Indian settlement in Roanoke. That the people wanted to survive. No,
I don't know.
that's not the Roanoke. Oh, okay.
Maybe. I
I'll
don't
put
know.
no.
I mean, this is
Roanoke.
all I know is that there was a settlement. Somebody showed up. It was gone within a day or something.
Yeah,
Damn.
they
You know where this was? Like, where was it in the States?
Virginia, right?
Yeah.
Maybe
It's like
someone
more
told
like
them to
east.
leave Virginia alone.
They were
No
there.
one
and
should like that.
they had to leave.
They were there.
Like some people went back to England to get supplies because they were running low on supplies. When they came back, the entire settlement
Everybody
was
was
gone.
gone.
There was nothing
Yeah,
left
that's
of it except that carving on the tree, and they could never find them.
Mhm.
So no one knows what happened to them. They just disappeared in one generation. It's a
Yeah.
really great theory. I mean, it's a really great story, I think.
so
Kyle,
too.
last one.
All right. So it's my buddy Mike's birthday today. So I was texting about
Hi,
this. 'Cause I know
Mike.
he loves
Happy
conspiracy
birthday.
theories
Happy
too.
birthday, Mike.
And he's told me about his favorite conspiracy theory. So I'm going to draft it here in honor of Mike. The
Okay.
Graham Hancock theory, and I think it's a Netflix series, so people can actually watch this, of a pre-Ice Age civilization that he essentially equates to as Atlantis. Some ancient apocalypse wiped it out. Something around, estimations are 12,800 years ago. So again, still during the Ice Age, but why certain things like the Easter Island heads are so giant, where that comes from, but also why that island has mostly been buried. It used to be a lot bigger,
Mhm.
maybe even part of Atlantis. Was there, was the Pacific Ocean always this big, or was there another landmass there, either Atlantis or something else called Sundalad? And essentially, what they expect happened was some cosmic or celestial event. They think like comets or meteor showers just like bombarded the Earth at some point and essentially wiped out this civilization. There's the Göbekli Tepe. It's this like giant mega structure in Turkey. Archaeologists have no idea who made it, when it was made. It looks to be older than almost anything else in Europe. So, which is why they're estimating around 12,000 years ago. We're talking about ancient Egypt, like when Shannon was mentioning the Jews and like when they were expected to have been in Egypt and left Egypt. We're talking like 2,500, 3,500 years ago.
Mhm.
This is
Mhm.
12,000 years ago. So again, really ancient compared to like well before the Greeks or the Roman Empire, long before all this. So it's like they were, and who knows, if they were giant, they were probably Sabe as well. So I'm gonna tie it all into there. But yeah, I guess there's
Love
an 8-part series on Netflix that Graham Hancock, I believe, narrates and created that explains all of his theories. So yeah.
Nice.
My iPad's about to die, so I need to say bye.
Bye,
Shannon.
Shannon. We'll
Bye,
see you in 2
Shannon.
weeks.
And of course, he leaves.
It's not gonna happen, Shannon.
I
It's not
see
gonna happen.
with my
It's
eyes
not
what you're
gonna-
doing.
It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
The Illuminati is real. There is a cabal. It's shadowy. They like kids.
G, your last pick.
See you all.
Bye, Shannon.
Bye.
Last pick, G.
I'm the last pick.
Yeah, you are, baby.
Damn, my camera went blurry. My bad. Hold on a minute.
No, I think it's just your eyes from drinking all that.
No,
Oh.
it's definitely blurry. Yeah. Well,
Okay, no one's looking at us.
No one's looking
What?
at you. We can't even see you right now, Jamie.
yeah, true. Huh?
Best for everybody.
I guess
Who knows it's really
the
Jamie? Sorry,
conspiracy theory, basically that. Hold on, I had it here because on the last one. To me, I don't know who killed Abraham Lincoln, but like, there's a lot of rumors that it was set up in different ways. That he got shot from the back of the head, but also that's the way I honestly think, like someone shot him in the back, but that there was honestly, it was planned out by his own people. And to me, to be honest,
Security guard.
yes, like back then, I don't know if you call him security guard. I guess you would just call him people, his own people, because I don't think
Well, I
the
think
word security
They
guard
had
was.
like he had like a police officer that was
Protector.
secure that was supposed to be
Like,
watching the door.
yeah.
And he walked away, left the door.
I think Secret
Yeah.
Service existed, but not like the guys with the earpieces
Yeah, not like
and
we know it.
surveillance that we
Yeah.
have now.
Yeah.
It's mostly just
I
a
mean-
bunch of dudes hanging out in secret everywhere, which is all. That's very
Yeah.
conspiracy theory in itself.
So there's people that think that he was set up by his own people, and there was people that think that the guy that wanted to kill him got his chance and did it right away, But in my opinion, to kill someone so powerful in a way that he divided the country in different ways that we never saw, I mean, that's pretty fucking impressive,
Yeah.
I mean, the guy was also in a theater room, right? So, to go that far, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I've been probably 3 old ass theater rooms in Utah. Like when I say the theater rooms, it takes a lot of freaking doors just to get there, to get into a VIP suite or whatever you would call those, So I believe that Abraham Lincoln was killed by his own people along the line that he didn't know, that didn't trust him or trusted him. People said that he was killed by just this random old guy. I mean, I don't remember his name, but I do believe he was killed by his own people. Whether he he's dead. It don't matter no more. But whether people like to admit it or not, I think his own people killed him. They set him up and everything. And you know what, man? Mad props to Abraham Lincoln. He made a big difference. People might not know this, but the thing he did for America probably made a lot of difference to the way we live now. I mean, he was the first person, and again, I don't mean to be race or anything, it's just, he segregated America, he was the first one that believed, as a president, we should do this and do that, And I honestly respect him more than a lot of other presidents, so.
Yeah. I've heard that John Wilkes Booth wasn't actually the guy who shot.
I mean,
So-
it could have been a time traveler sent back in time. We don't know.
I did. I did.
Maybe Donald Trump.
I was time traveling out of conspiracy theory,
Because he knew that would ruin the Republican Party. Because even though, like you said, liberating slaves and making slavery illegal, it seems like a very left-wing thing to do, right? But Abraham Lincoln was actually a Republican, and at that point in history, the Republicans were actually the more centralist, left-thinking. The Democrats were the very right-wing extremists. Somewhere along the way, things totally flipped. So Donald Trump would never be able to get into the classic Republican Party, but if he kills Lincoln and the Republican Party changes, that's what allows him to corrupt them and get into the party, because no other political party would ever make him a leader. But
I just think that someone cross-eyed in his way of protecting, And there's a lot of different points and a lot of good points, but then I'm like, damn, dude,
especially
the guy
at the
got
end of the
killed
Civil War. They know they're in a war.
Yeah,
You figure the security would be extra vigilant at this point.
Exactly. Can you imagine? 9/11. How protected was President Bush at that time? President Bush, right?
Yeah.
How protected was he? He was pretty damn
Order
protected.
something in a school, nowhere near where anything.
I mean,
happened, yet it was okay.
Nothing. I mean, Joe Biden just might die by himself. There ain't no protecting him just from old age. God bless the guy. I just hope he makes it down the stairs tomorrow night. But I'm just saying, these presidents, and it's crazy because there's a lot of conspiracy theory. But have you noticed what they all have a lot in common? The highest one that are profiled, politics.
Yeah.
Politics, a lot of politics in it. So it makes me wonder sometimes when we get into conspiracy theory, are we just let Lionel Richie say, are we just an Illuminati? We go human being, political, and then just humans, it's just it's crazy, but I don't know, man.
I'm
But
just
yeah,
trying to
that's my
remember to
last
call
one.
Shannon Lionel Richie every time I'm on a show with him again.
I know.
Right,
Um,
since we had a few
go ahead.
people dip out, I want to kind of do an honorable mention here.
Okay.
We missed a couple picks here. This is the craziest theory right now going on. Are you ready for this?
No, but go ahead.
Boys have penises and girls have vaginas. What?
Oh Lord!
How crazy are we to believe that this theory is true? I was taught this back in school and textbooks and everything. It's and now I find out that this is all just a lie.
It's Jamie.
Come on now. I've had gender reveal parties for all of my kids, And like, it was blue for boy, pink for girl. Like, are these doctors
Like
lying
Pink
to
Floyd,
us?
though.
Like, what's going on here? Like, now there's 50 different genders. Like, what colors are we going to use for the reveal of these other genders?
First of all, gender reveals are ridiculous. So that if it stops that, I'm all with that conspiracy. That's cool. I like it.
Yeah, we don't
And
need-
Wait, did I just see Kyle
random-
hit a piece?
did Kyle? Yeah, he always does. You've never seen him do that before?
Oh man, I didn't know. I thought Ryan was the only one doing it on the show.
Dude, I'm biased.
Yeah,
Giraffe
Jamie's spoken
fucking
to.
right now.
At least dude, at least you have more balls than Ryan. That's no conspiracy theory right there. You do it on the show. He does it off the show.
Well, I did. I mean, I smoked before the show started, but that was
Yeah,
That was
he always
Well,
that was
does.
an hour and a half ago.
Why do you think I've been taking myself off
Damn.
screen this whole time? Like, literally.
Oh, that's why.
We know.
Yeah,
why
I
you
did it
think
one
it's
time, and
possible.
Gladys said, "Kyle, you don't have to get off screen to smoke weed." So I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, I didn't know that. rule.
Come on now. All right. That
Gladys,
kind of what?
do you have any conspiracy theories? I know you haven't drafted, but did you have anything?
Gladys,
wanted
do you
to talk
have
about
any?
that wasn't mentioned?
No, like I said, I think everything's a conspiracy. I don't. There are no theories.
So
I mean,
you're like, birds don't exist, like that one offensive lineman. Space doesn't exist, like that one tight end. Are you all for that?
wait, what now?
Well, at the combine, there was a tight end, or there's a defense.
Oh, yeah.
One player said birds don't exist. I know Josh was referencing it. Have
He
you ever
said
seen a
birds
baby
don't
pigeon?
exist.
Yeah, pigeons aren't real. They're just
Pigeons aren't real.
robots.
No,
I've
I-
never seen a baby pigeon.
I
Why
think the
was this
funniest
even
one
brought
is,
up at the combine?
They sit on the poles or the wires to recharge their batteries and stuff.
Why?
dude,
was
I
this
think
brought
the
up at
funniest one
combine?
is
On us.
Gladys. You should just ask. You should just be like, my
Jamie, that's
conspiracy
the
theory.
government shitting all over you. That's what they always do. They do it more literally in this way, but they do it figuratively most of the other time. Sorry.
I've
Chris.
never heard that. I've never
Gladys,
heard
you should do the easiest one. Is the world flat or
Yeah,
round?
Josh mentioned it too,
Dude,
right?
Think about it, dude. We have a lunar eclipse, right? So that means the sun shines on the earth and goes into the moon. And it's always round. If it was a lunar eclipse and the earth was flat, then you would see a flat shadow, not a round shadow.
Oh, I
Or it
see
looked
what
like
you're
just a line or a dot, right? Yeah, for sure.
saying.
I'd
I
be
believe
more
in
inclined
any
to believe.
conspiracy theory. It would be the Matrix. It would be that we're all just a simulation. That would
Oh, I
be my
100% agree with that.
That would be the conspiracy.
Oh
theory.
man,
Donald Trump's a
I'm not
program that's
real.
just acting strange. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It-
It's
it-
not
It's not
real.
supposed to be.
Earth is not real. We're just
You know?
simulation.
you know what? I'm glad I came on the show because I am so excited for my date tomorrow night. I can't wait to ask her. Hey, you know what? I'm not gonna run out of things to talk about. So here we go. I have 5 rounds. I have 5 rounds of 6 questions of conspiracy theories. Now let's break them down. You know what? Hey, hey Gladys, bartender. Yeah, my tab probably just limit $300 tonight. That's how it's gonna go tomorrow night.
Oh, gee. First of all, there's so much to break down tonight. You have a date? Is this a first date?
No, this is gonna be a 3rd date.
Nice.
Not even going
I
for
mean-
2, going for 3.
Robot,
Yeah.
is she human?
I mean, we hang out, but
Is she a
she's
lizard person?
cool. She's cool.
Yeah.
What was that?
Cool?
Is she a
Jamie
lizard?
asked, is she a human
Don't
or
pay
robot? And I
attention to
said, is she a
Is she a
lizard person?
robot?
No, honestly, I bet you she's smarter than me about these conspiracy theories. I'll tell you that much. I bet you she gonna fucking rebuttal. I'm gonna be like, hey, Gladys, Jamie, Lionel Richie, Kyle, Michael, where are you guys? Help me! Help me!
Just play the episode tomorrow. It'll give us
Yeah.
more views. But B, just
So look,
True.
the
Yeah,
Earth
yeah.
is flat. I don't know if you can see this, but the Earth is flat,
Oh
right?
my God.
oh
Let
yeah.
the sun
Oh,
shine on the
Lord.
Earth, right?
Who said the Earth was flat? No one even brought up that. Josh brought up that conspiracy theory. and
I
he
mean,
thought-
yeah,
he
none of us
asked.
did.
No,
Yeah,
the
none
Earth
of us
Kyrie
is
Irving.
flat.
Knows.
Kyrie
Everyone-
Irving thinks the Earth is flat.
Oh, that's right.
Wouldn't
Yeah,
this
Kyrie.
be the shadow?
Yeah,
on the
exactly. It would be a
moon if
line,
the
not
Earth
a.
was flat?
Yeah. Even that doesn't seem flat, right? 'Cause
All
there's
right,
convention.
Gladys, close us out. Close us out, Gladys.
All right, people, thank you for joining us on the Conspiracy Theory. If you want to talk to any of these gentlemen about their conspiracy theories, Jamie,
Don't bother.
where can they find you?
Don't bother talking to me. No.
And
Uh,
Garrison and Kyle. Go ahead, G.
Yeah, you can find me at Fantasy GDFS. I'm planning on being on a lot of draft shows coming up. Definitely for
Yes.
going for 2 as well. The draft, I love the draft. Everybody knows that. I'm still planning. I might fly out to Minnesota to visit Jared, the Jetty Express, but that dependent on my work schedule. I'm like I said, I'm very busy at work. But yeah, you can find me on Twitter there. I haven't done a lot of fantasy football stuff this offseason because of work, obviously. But I know for sure I would never miss out for Gladys, even though I didn't know what today's date was. But I am so glad I'm here. I'm sorry, Gladys. I love you. I love you. Sorry.
I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're here.
Well,
Jamie,
yeah.
yes,
where can they find you? Jamie is like a guest on every show. Like if he's not a
Pretty
guest,
much.
He's also a
in the
co-host
chat.
on a show too. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
I'm
like,
the co-host on Going for Two Chi every Tuesday night. Right now, we're doing every other Tuesday. I would still love to do the Sunday morning start sit show because I love giving information on who to start, who to sit. You can
you're
find me
great
in
at
the chat, annoying all these awesome hosts in every single Going for Two episode. I will be in the chat, guaranteed. Besides that, I'm on Facebook. I got a group that I'm running. We got 40,000 members called the Fantasy Football Discussion. We also have a Dynasty Fantasy Football Discussion group, about 2,000 people. But yeah, join us. Ask me anything. You can hit me up in my DMs. I'm always available all day, every day.
and Kyle.
So I'm on X at Senra Says. I also co-host I guess I'll be co-hosting 2 Point Conversion now alongside Courtney, who was in the chat earlier. So yeah, think we're gonna go Sunday this week instead of Monday. So Sunday the 17th. St. Patrick's.
Oh, can I join that?
St.
I
Patty's
will
Day.
be happy to
Yeah,
join
sure.
the show.
Sure. Yeah,
Same.
we'll discuss it. I'll send you a link for sure, Jamie.
Yes.
I don't know what time it is yet. Like we're still in the planning stages. Yeah, I guess glad to be on for conspiracy theories. Yeah, I'll be smoking as soon as we're done here probably. This is a smoking hot episode. Yeah, I'm glad I got to pick the Sabe and Sasquatch first overall. And yes, the Yeti is real. I know the Yeti is real because I made a trade with him in the Dynasty League. So thank you, Yeti, for I have Jalen Hurts in that league. So it's great.
And we will see you in 2 weeks with mock drafting favorite sports movies. Once again, one I will not be joining in because I don't watch sports movies. But I'm
You're
pretty
missing out,
sure-
Gladys.
Whatever. Sports movies are stupid. They just want you to cry. That's why they do them. Herms will be on it.
Love Herms. One of my favorite persons in the whole world.
awesome.
Ralphie from Robots will be on it. Courtney Harden, not Courtney Love Tractor. Courtney Harden will be on it, and maybe Jamie, I guess. But
Would
it's
love
going to
to
be back.
join that.
Yes,
Just because Herms is on the show. Count me in.
But it'll be our regular time. I think it'll be 3:00 in the afternoon, Mountain Time, unless we need to change it for Jamie or Herms, and then we'll change it to be a later time, and we'll let you know. But join us for the sports movie mock draft. We will tell you what time for sure later. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Sky. Thank you, Shannon. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, G. Thank you, Jamie. You guys were wonderful.
Shout out to
Michael. Thank you, Michael. Michael is like really in depth. Like I have a lot to read now.
That's why I invited him.
Very well researched. That was awesome.
Yep.
I know he did. Yeah. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for watching. We appreciate you. If you are watching on the YouTube, hit that like button. We would appreciate it. And if you're joining on Twitter, I'm sorry we couldn't see your messages. And as always, we will see you in 2 weeks. Watch Tuesday, Jamie.
Tuesday,
Cheat
cheat sheet. Every other week.
Cheat sheet. Kyle, Sunday and Monday, he will be co-hosting 2 Point Conversion. And What's your other one? Kyle,
Maybe just 2-point conversion.
Full
you're not going to do the other?
press
Okay.
coverage.
Full press.
I've got the full press fantasy pod, full press Packers pod, which aren't part of Going for Two. Those are audio only podcasts. But yeah, we actually, you know what, Jamie, we did an episode of the podcast discussing your trade with Brad. So
Here's Canadian. I
Yeah.
listened to that earlier.
did we
All
do
right.
the trade justice? Do we feel like we explained it well?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
Except I don't agree with your take on not liking my side.
So thank you, everyone.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess you agree with the Yeti then, because Yeti liked your side.
Nope.
So there you go.